It is February the 6th. It is 6:44. My name is Philip Vipond. I'm chairman of the Planning and Zoning Committee, and I would like to call this meeting to order. We have a quorum. We have present Teddy Holly, Jim Lawhorn, and Ray Landon. And we will start, as we do with all meetings, with the pledge of allegiance and Texas
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to the flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Do we have any citizen comment?
We don't have any.
Members don't have any citizens.
How about a mayoral comment?
Okay, let's just straight on to old business then. Let's approve the minutes for January. Has everybody read them? I think you emailed them out.
Yes. I move that we approve the minutes for January 9th, 2013.
A second.
Motion by Teddy Holly, second by Ray Landon. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. New business. Calls an action to approve the submittal of the voluntary annexation on the North proposed development on Highway 181 North.
You all got in your pockets of the official, it's a copy of the letter submitting a formal request to voluntary annexate the 15.466 acres along with the adjacent text dot right of way for US 181. What I didn't put in your packets, and I apologize for that, is the exhibits of what they want to annex. Now, what we still need to do, and they plan on getting this to us by next council meeting, if this is approved tonight, is they do need to still petition for the voluntary annexation, and I've emailed them the forms to do that, and I've actually gotten with them when they're gonna bring that back to us. They have told me that they will have this done by next Thursday for the council meeting. And I got with Lou Rosenberg, and Lou Rosenberg has said that's fine. We can still approve the annexation tonight, pending this document to be
I
submitted
was
to
wondering if
council.
that had to be submitted.
Yes.
to us first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so.
Say the line that runs now existing,
Mhm.
where does it stop as far as citizens from here, but that's approximately where?
Ropers.
Where yes,
Ropers,
right
storage.
where the storage
Ropers
business.
is the last.
Is storage in or out of the city?
Out.
So if we pick this up, we'll go ahead and take it,
Storage is
everything else
out.
in between.
Not
No.
can,
Just
the highway.
Just the
the
highway.
stripe it.
It's the, if you look at there, it's gonna be the area and highway annexations, 24.4 acres. And it's the text dot right of way is what they're annexing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be in our ETJ, but not in the city limits then?
Well, how they,
Keep going, Jim.
if you,
One more. There it is.
there you go,
All stuff's hashed in.
yes, all that's the lines, and then they're 14 point something.
And so all this is just ETJ, it's not city?
Yes, exactly.
As we were talking earlier, do we have any clue as to what obligation that we're gonna have maintenance-wise on that strip of highway?
That's a good question, and that's what I need to find out. Because from what I understand, TxDOT always even the ones including town, like our standard streets, Hospital Boulevard, it's still their jurisdiction,
Right.
even if it's in the city. So the same thing applies to this. It's still, but it gives us the opportunity to, when we do put our utilities through there, well, we have, that's annexed. So,
So we don't have to worry about right-of-ways for utilities, but we
Right.
also do not have to worry about highway maintenance.
well, I would like to say no, but typically, the city still does. They still do all the maintenance in Standish. They do all the maintenance in hospital, and they'll probably do the same thing along that area.
If we are just annexing the highway,
Mhm.
what about the little runoffs that go to down the side of Crawford's, for instance, which is a pothole nightmare? Is that gonna be the city's problem, or is that?
Oh, you're talking about by
Turner
Jack's?
You're
Yeah, the
talking
next
about,
one down.
he's talking about Turner Lane.
Yeah,
That's actually technically
Private, isn't it?
private. That's private,
It's private.
really,
yes, sir.
that's a nightmare.
I know. And what the city has done in the past, we have done patches there, because, it's really bad.
This may be
As
getting
a
off-
courtesy, we have done patches
This may
there.
be getting off the beaten track a little bit, but shouldn't they be forced to make that concrete, if nothing else, it's just dirt and poles? Have the city do it and build it, whoever owns it.
We probably need to figure out how to get that.
Who owns it?
Um,
I never met him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. But I don't know the full, because that was done back then, but I do know that's private. And, yeah, we could probably start working on.
It was that way before I bought it. I didn't come in and make it, I put it in an easement or whatever, it was that way when I picked
Yeah.
it up.
Didn't realize it was yours.
Yeah.
Still a mess.
And I've
Those
fixed it,
trucks in there.
and I've fixed it
tear up.
25
Yeah,
times.
well, they got that
I
covered.
bet you have, yeah,
It's there,
yeah. Trucks just tear it up.
yeah.
Okay.
Is it to our advantage at some point, means we're gonna take this on anyway, to grab this in the middle?
Yes,
It has to be,
it has to be contiguous,
yeah. So we have to have it then.
yeah.
It has to be,
And,
Yeah,
and,
backwards?
well, that's, keeps it,
Well,
continue,
the
can't
deal-
spot
The deal is
annex.
McCoy's voluntary
yeah,
to
Yeah.
be annexed, and the other folks are not.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. But what's unique about this rate is when it's in the 3-year or 5-year annexation plan, it's kind of like gonna be included with that, so.
I know that it would be to our advantage
oh, yeah.
down the road a little bit if we had this not the county.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Question on
Become very valuable.
the forest bit,
Mhm.
is this including the area that's being donated to the city for a park?
Yes, it's the whole 14.
It's the whole 15.4?
Yes.
Okay, right,
Yes.
good.
Which part's being done? Do you
The
know?
other side of that line?
The,
Oh, this over here?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's see.
because that's a floodplain anyway. I think.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
And it would, let's put some top benches on it.
So they're gonna build McCoy's right next to the house.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, they,
They're already underway, if you look.
they've already accepted into the park. Has it been accepted, this proposed deed? I mean, are they gonna do anything to, because it's not a park, it's a big creek with a lot of problems right this second. Are they, is McCoy's gonna do anything before?
Yes, it
Since we
should.
could walk in and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to make it.
I believe they had an agreement drawn up, so I'm not exactly sure what the specifics on the park portion of that, so.
The last time somebody gave me something, I almost never got it paid for.
I know what you're saying, it might be more of a headache.
Exactly.
It might be more of a headache than a blessing, yeah, I know what you're saying.
I know one of their presentations to the council, they mentioned about bringing in fill and blowing, some of their.
Well, they have the machinery, they have the equipment, they have the manpower to do it, so they could hand it to us with a bow on it versus,
Yeah.
you know,
I
a
understand
drainage
that's
ditch.
their plan, when we looked at it before. But they were going to make, shift a lot of soil around, so we didn't have the standing water.
Right.
They do have a berm back on this one corner where and they've also put some silt fence around it where they are stockpiling. Looks to be some topsoil.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
they're
saw
gonna,
that.
you know,
Mhm.
it doesn't serve a purpose for any kind of base material, so maybe they're planning to use that for.
Mhm. They're doing a lot of earth, they're starting with the earthwork right now.
This may not have anything to do with this discussion, but just out of my curiosity, do we offer employees any incentive to come in here?
FEDC.
Yes.
They offered a deal to do a boring under the highway.
For the wastewater.
The cost of it's approximately $135,000, so we've been told, but we're awaiting to see that piece of paper. And it's somewhere.
And the road that goes down there, we're putting that in as
Oh,
well.
the construction of that road,
Yeah.
that was another one too. Wilson Drive, I think that's what they're calling it. Wilson Drive.
Don't think there are any deals done on sales tax or anything for.
Not that I know
Not that I know
of.
of.
Any clue on projections as to what the ad valorem and sales tax revenues are?
When they first started meeting with us, they had presented some information on that, but I don't know, yeah.
I think they were projecting sales of 5 million.
I don't remember.
After 3 years,
Yeah.
which would sound about reasonable. All that stuff is tax exempt if you're building a home.
So much of it is tax exempt.
Yeah. So, but I'm sure it'll be useful revenue. We just hope it doesn't put people like hit Los Angeles.
Or lumber outlet. Local.
Never really met, but hit Los Angeles.
Mhm.
Any more questions or any comments on the proposal?
Now, I know that they also wanted, and this was, I didn't do it in this meeting, and probably it's gonna be in the next meeting. They wanted to submit a final plat as well. So that'll be for next month. And I do know, I know because we're all talking about tax revenues and sales and things like that. I do know that they platted 3 lots. Of course, the main lot where the McCoy's building's gonna be at. And in the front, it was to be understood that it wasn't supposed to be another, of course, lumber store or something,
Right.
but like a restaurant of some sort.
Oh.
Chili's or Applebee's?
He did say that.
And they mentioned the bank.
And he said it at the council meeting, so.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting y'all know. And of course, the park portion of it, so.
So the final plat will be for the next meeting?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're just concerned because they know that they need the building permit. They need the plat before they can even get the building permit, and I assured him that we'll definitely get the plat through next month. Because the building permit, the plans have been already approved, so the building's ready to go.
Well, be sure you work in some picnic tables and park benches for the park.
Yes.
Lumberyard.
Sue's got plenty there.
Maybe some pergolas too.
Exactly. This is a donation.
Now, what is the document that needs to go with this that we don't have?
Oh,
so
it's
that we
this
can
petition.
Make a proposal?
Yes, and they have it in, they have it in their possession, so we need to have, they assured me that they will have that ready by next, presentation from the next meeting.
How much is the check going to be for?
We don't really have a fee for annexation.
That's what we're gonna get to.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna give away
Absolutely.
so much money.
Totally agree.
Sorry?
300,000.
300,000 would be nice, yeah. Should I fill that in? 300,000?
That would be awesome.
Where's the city at?
That would be awesome.
Okay, with no more discussion, we have a proposal.
I propose that we accept and approve the submittal of the voluntary annexation on the McCoy's development at Highway 181 North,
Subject
subject to the
to
completion
annexation.
of the annexation documentation petition.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Motion by Teddy Holly. Second by Jim Bowman. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Okay, moving on to the updated version of the agreement between Stewart Planning. I have been asked to add something to that agreement. Did it change, I don't have the original document.
Oh,
was
I
looking
think
for
I
it in
have
my-
it.
Here.
Are you on the original? Good.
Change the dollar, not by a whole lot.
I didn't see it change it by law.
You added this
Right.
and then the amount here. That's
Has
the,
everybody got a copy of
That's
this
a
and seen
revised.
this?
I just have the
And
original.
what we're actually doing?
do you want the?
Because this was started prior to
should
you
have the
two
new
Jeff
one.
joining.
It's on my computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got this stuff at home that you sent us, plus. I printed out
Do you want,
the-
me- do you want,
Really, the only change was that paragraph E, under services.
Paragraph E, yes.
Yeah.
In coordination with a designated committee, perform probability and development occurrence weighting to the future land use plan and arrive at a future land use assumptions map as specified under the Texas Local Government Code. It's basically where we're going and what we're doing. And I didn't realize it wasn't part of the original one.
Yeah.
I thought we did have that in there, but it added $1,000, I think. Is that
Yes,
correct?
it was, the original was
On that's.
11,750.
Now it's
On the task one, it's 12,750.
And it would add a couple of weeks to the length of time that he's going to be doing this. But we need to approve this to get it to Lou.
Well, Luke actually has
Yes.
reviewed it,
He has already?
yes, and he already,
Impressed.
I'm sorry I don't have that email that I had it with me, but in the email, he did say that he does approve of the agreement. And if you want to submit it to the council.
We need to get moving. We're
Yeah.
already behind the eight ball already, because we should have started this on January 1st, and here we are,
Well,
6 days in February, and
Yeah. January
so.
31.
I don't know if you guys have read this much or, but when we first started looking at this, the city's master plan, which everybody should have a copy of it if you haven't,
I can get you one. You need-
tasks the Planning and Zoning Commission to develop a future land use and expansion plan. And this is what this is. None of us sit around this table, especially me, have any of the qualifications to be able to do that. So whilst the city is trying to put a spending freeze on, there are certain things in government that have to go on. This is one of them. This must start quickly. Because we're going to be, end of the year, we only have an 18-month moratorium on,
It was effective.
special.
When was it effective?
second reading was 2 council meetings ago. I think.
Right, but I think they effective dated back.
Backdated.
Backdated,
Yes.
yeah.
But,
Yes.
you know, we're already three months into it probably.
least.
Was it November?
I think it was in
I
November.
think it was in November.
Yeah, so we're 3 or 4 months into it already, and we haven't started yet, so I'm glad if Lou's approved it, rubber
Yes,
stamped it.
he's
and-
approved it. And then we also got to remember too that we need to do this kind of plan. It needs to be done by a professional. And then we need to start with this to get to the next step, which is all the other things that follow. So this is really the first step.
And there's so much a part of this that will bring Floresville maybe into the 20th century, not the 21st. You know, things like impact fees, you know, there's no impact
Right,
fees.
and as I the whole thing, this will open the door to do all the above.
Right,
Exactly.
do everything, review everything, zoning, everything.
Annexation,
And,
zone
annexation,
and planning.
and if the people wants to come and build there, and there was, you know, there was an impact that cost the city money, and we didn't get that money back. So we need to get that money back, plus a little bit of profit. So getting those kind of impact fees is all part of this.
And it shouldn't be in the burden of our citizens that are.
Absolutely not.
So,
Your business coming in, they should not be paying for it. Because that business is going to be here for a profit, it's going to make a profit, and the citizens shouldn't be paying for it. It's got to start somewhere, and this I really see as the foundation, the root of Floresville growth for the next 20 years. I think when I was pitching this originally, I looked at Buda, and if you remember that city, just 15 years ago.
Wine
City.
space.
Train city, what done? Look at it now. It is one of the most beautiful places you will see. Everything's just beautiful. And if we could do half as good as that, I'd be a very proud man. Anyway, if everybody's ready, if we could have a proposal on that. So it's
Yeah, I will move that we approve the presentation to City Council of the updated version of professional planning services agreement by Stewart Planning and Consulting Land Use Plan.
Second.
Proposed by Jim, and seconded by Ray. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Any other business? Then I propose we adjourn the meeting.
And I second.